All right, we got the Spartans, the Buckeyes on the road, less than 24 hours in between, so the Big Ten did us a lot of favors in the scheduling, so we're really excited about that. And I think it's going to be one of the most challenging road trips we've had because playing and then having to turn around and play at 3:30 in the afternoon the next day, it makes late night and trying to get up and then trying to work around Ohio State's practice. So it's going to be a challenging road trip.
You commiserated with Jen. I think they got Penn State the night before they played. It was a tough weekend for everyone around.
Yeah. It's just the hard part is playing back to back, and what are we? We're 21 hours difference, and we got to travel. So I just think that makes it tough, but for the sake of TV, they moved us up there. So, yeah, it's a big week. It's week 4. We got to find a way to win 2 matches.
It's week 4 yet. You've already played half of your home games. Does that make the rest of the season even that tougher of a grind?
Yes. Yep. Because we have three home matches in November. So yeah, it's gonna be. We got some tough trips, and this is the first one. And I think we got Oregon, Washington. So anyway, it's challenging, but let's focus on one point at a time and try to give a great effort against Michigan State.
Obviously, the last 2 games were back to back. They were here though. Does that help prepare it all for? Even though you're on the road. But
I think it does help prepare us to go through it because we hadn't been through it, and except for way back in early September. So I think it does prepare us, but we weren't real sharp against Rutgers the next night, and so it was a good teaching moment for me. Like we got to recover, and you got to be mentally ready to come in and give another great effort. And so I think that was a good part.
is it more challenging to kind of help the physical side of things? You can't, I guess, help that. Like you physically can't do that. But mentally, what's the challenge of back to back on the road? How do you kind of help that with the players?
Well, we stay in our routine, and that's what's hard because we're going earlier, but we stay in our routine. We have recovery stuff we do. They got to get rest, hydration, all those things. All those little things really matter. And when you got days in between, it doesn't matter quite as much, but hopefully our players are going to embrace all the knowledge they have on how to recover and be able to play, back to back.
What is the opportunity to another network TV game on Saturday on NBC? What opportunities? Is that just another weekend of games for you, or is that a big deal?
We've already been on NBC once this year, or that was ABC. Yeah. So, for us, it's every time it's TV. But I get to talk to Paul Sunderland. He's getting to do a Big Ten match, so he's fired up. I know he's been wanting to get into the Big Ten for a long time, and so it'll be exciting to have him because he's probably one of the top one. Does the Olympics, and so he's been doing it a long time. But anyway, I think it's great for the sport that NBC's doing. I think 3 matches, so it's great.
How have you seen Harper progress? I mean, we talked about a little bit on Friday after she was targeted 50 times for service seat. How have you seen her progress on service seat this year?
Well, she's passing way higher than she did last year, so she's technically gotten better, and that was quite a load for her to carry 50 times, and nobody's really done that to her this year. And I thought she handled it really well, and she had a good match, and she passed well, and last year I know she got served at times, but she's definitely matured in that area, and I think is okay with people serving her.
Have you been surprised at all at how well Olivia Mauch's transitioned to this level?
No. She's an elite player. I mean, she did it for a freshman, and just I don't know, she's so smooth, and she's not very vocal, but she's just smooth. The players trust her. They know where she's going to be, and she's been very consistent every day. So, but I saw that in the spring, so I'm not surprised, to answer your question. Typically, if they're gonna be squirrely, you're gonna see it in the spring and on their first semester, or summer, but she's doing a nice job.
Why do you think that is? Just maturity?
Who the hell knows? I mean, she's been on some big teams. She's been on some really good club teams. She led her Bennington team, and she's been on some USA teams that done really well. So I just think at first she was, am I good enough to do this thing and make these USA teams? And now she make them, she was starting. So I think she's gotten a lot of confidence from that.
How do you think Skylar's handled everything of not getting, playing time and taking a different role in the team?
Yeah, I think she seems okay with it. It makes a lot of sense for her, and she comes in and gets extra training, and she's doing really, really well. I've been tempted at times to give her a shot, but it's hard, but she's handling it great.
What's the key to defending Emily Londa?
She's got every shot in the book, so as we say, all 6 on her. So everybody's got to be ready, because she's going to make everybody have to dig a ball, and she's got a heavy arm. So yeah, she's a good player. This is her 5th year. Yeah, she's a good player. She's deceptive, how hard she hits, but she's got every shot in the book. So she's hard to defend, but that's why we say all 6.
Anything else?
Chantel had a really good article about you when you guys sat down, and I know you opened up a little bit more about Harper, but what's been the biggest piece of personal growth that you've seen so far with her, and you've been so close with her in her journey at Nebraska?
Yeah, I think she's maturing through all this. She can have more of adult type conversations, even though we do the TikTok and all that. But she's really great with her thoughts and her words and her maturity. She's just growing up, and unfortunately this spring forced her to she was either going to bail or have to grow up. And I think she's grown up, and like we talked about, she could become a stronger person going through all that if she handled it right and did the work, which she's done. And I just see it in her maturity and how she handles herself, and she's much more businesslike. She's very focused in practice, where last year I would kick her out of drills because she would be messing around or lose her focus. But she's coming in every day to work, and so I've seen a lot of growth and progress from her, so it's pretty cool.
Do you think situations like this make you a better coach too?
A better coach? I don't know about a better coach, but every day there's something that challenges you as a coach. So sometimes it's good stuff, sometimes it's bad stuff, but the coaching's hard, and it's it's an adventure every day, and you're just kind of hanging on and kind of along for the ride in some ways. But one of the things that as a coach you want to do is watch these guys grow and mature and get better and work through things, and so there's a lot of satisfaction in that.
Do you think after what you did this past weekend with kind of giving different playing time for players, that would be your similar approach for this weekend of giving people different opportunities in the back-to-back matches?
Well, we'll have to see. I mean, I'm going to see how this week in practice goes, and at some point we're trying to settle on a lineup, but again, with back-to-back, we could be in a situation if we go 5 games on the first night. I mean, we got some players that can play, and if they don't start, so we may have to tap into that, because just to have fresh legs, fresh arms. So that's something we always have in the back of our mind. Yeah, that's why we've been practicing it. Or I mean, taking matches and playing other players.
All right, thank you.
Okay, guys, have a good night.